Hey everybody, welcome to a Christmas edition of AniSaturday. I'm Matt and I'm here along with...
Deej.
So, uh, it's been a while since... Well, first of all, it's been a while since I've recorded anything with you, Deirdre. But in general, it's also been a while since we've put up a podcast on our Podbean. I do have some stuff recorded with Tristan that I still have to edit out and iron out that will be coming out. Funnily enough, some of that will actually be coming out before the end of this year, so within the week. But I just wanted to put this out because this is kind of a last minute thing, but I just wanted to clarify that Deirdre, you saw, I don't know if you're a fan or not, that's the funny thing, I don't know if I ever clarified this with you, but when you were younger, you and I both saw, we didn't know each other yet, but we saw Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Absolutely, we did.
The animated film that is based off of the 1979 song. Remember, everyone, this movie came out in the year 2000. And this
Wow.
song is from 1979. Not really sure who the market was, but apparently it was for people like you and I, Deirdre.
Yeah, yeah.
Children like you and I. I was 8, so that means that you were 9.
hmm
And you discovered this movie and you did not like... So, do you like it? I'm confused.
It's like I don't know. It's definitely been burned in the back of my brain for a long time. And I realized that there was one specific scene that's been stuck in my head for a long time, and
Oh,
we'll get
okay.
there when we go through, the
Well,
plot points.
yeah, we don't have to go through it bit by bit. So if you want to, by the way, this is going to be a spoiler filled in case you haven't seen it. This is going to be spoilers, okay? So I just want to let you know.
You should you should take a quick pause and watch this film. It is only 50 minutes without commercials.
Well, that actually threw me off because I thought it was shorter because I remember watching it on TV with the commercials. Because basically, for anyone who might not remember or might be a bit too young to remember, this weird special that I'm sure you've seen so many people talk about on YouTube because obviously this is like it's weird. So I'm sure it's rife with content and others have talked about it. This aired on now the CW, but at the time the WB. So yes, you don't remember that?
I was trying to remember where it aired. I legitimately sitting down watching it, like, when would I have come across this?
I remember it airing on prime time, so like 8 p.m. around the holidays. But apparently, it also aired seemingly on Kids WB. I
Uh-huh.
don't remember that, but I remember seeing it at around like it became like a yearly tradition for me that I would like have my Game Boy Advance and then I would like play a little bit of get some mobile gaming in while watching this. And it was so frustrating too because like sometimes I would miss something and I'd be like, "Oh no," because this was the time pre DVR.
Uh-huh.
I did not have this on VHS or DVD. So I was like, oh no, I missed it. I guess I will have to wait till next year, or at least if they were airing it the week after, next
My
week to
goodness.
see it. Yeah, no, like, this is, for just taking us all down memory lane here, this is pre streaming, this is pre YouTube.
Right.
So, and it's not like it's funny. There are some things at the time that you probably could have, quote unquote, found on the internet, but it would not have been this in the year 2000.
Uh-uh.
Too big of a file. So it's just one of those things where it's like if you missed it, you missed it. Maybe you recorded it. If you didn't buy it on VHS, maybe you ended up recording it with the family VCR. You did not do that, so you saw this every year.
I mean, I I believe so. There's a possibility of a VHS existing, and me owning it only because like we had a very very large VHS collection. It wouldn't surprise me if I have owned this on VHS at some point in time.
But you weren't someone who was popping it in every day.
No, 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 no.
You were getting that once a year Christmas vibe. You know, oh, it's Christmas
I mean,
time.
more or less, I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah. So, because the thing is, I want to say just right off the bat, I it's not one of those things where as a kid I loved it and now I don't like it. I've always looked at it and gone, "Oh, this is not very good."
Yeah.
But there's something oddly charming about it
Yeah.
that draws me in. It might be some of the voice acting, some of it's good, some of it's not. And so that weird mix. Also the musical elements. I know you're a fan of musicals, I am as well.
Mhm.
So with the fact that you did a lot of musical theater in high school, like obviously this just makes sense, really, looking into what you liked as a kid. It's like, oh, of course you liked Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. But
Well, like,
it's
yeah, it's I had forgotten, like on the rewatch today, I was like, oh, this is a lot of music, huh? Because there are the standout songs, the obvious titular song, and then a few like reprises here and there, and the thing that has stuck with me my entire life, which is the grandma's gonna see the pants off of Santa,
thank you, the
which
hula.
is a bop. It's so good.
No, like yeah, I would dance to that in the club.
Yeah.
Like it's a banger. It really is. Um, and it was also just one of those the most like the rest of them made quote unquote sense. Other even the one that didn't make sense with Grandpa when he was like, "I'd rather sing." At least that was quirky because Grandpa is quirky. But that
No,
one
that
is like
that was the weirdest thing. Like, I think that's weirder than grandma's gonna see the pants off of Santa.
it is, but at least he's quirky, and I'll tell you why. So you might not know this. So looking at some of the voice actors, the grandpa, and also by the way, the grandpa was the narrator.
Yeah,
Uh,
I could tell that.
yes, I didn't. I don't know if I was able to notice that as a kid, but I obviously noticed that now.
Uh huh.
The actor who voiced him over was Elmo Shropshire.
Okay.
He did the song "Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer."
Wait, the original?
Yes.
Are you are you kidding me?
No, he's now 85. So that's why he's got a random musical number.
Huh.
It's all making
I'm
sense now,
really
isn't
glad.
it?
I was so tempted to look up stuff about this, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna let Matt do it, and I'm gonna let my genuine shock come through at whatever weird fact you're gonna throw at me, and you got me.
it's
Wild.
it's weird.
It makes
Because
sense now that you say it, I guess. But like, did they approach him and they were like, "Hey, it's the year 2000. It's been X amount of years since this weird ass song you did. Uh, let's make an animated movie around it. You want to be Grandpa?"
I love that in the pitch they have to remind him that it's the year 2000. In the pitch, they're like, just letting you know, hey man, it's Elmo. It's the year 2000. He's like, I'm well aware. We look, man. It's in the pitch, all right.
It's in the
It's
pitch.
in the pitch. It's the year 2000. Well, here's the thing, right? So, it's very strange because to me, obvious. So when I say things like, oh, it isn't very good, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not just talking about the voice acting. I'm also talking about the animation.
Yeah,
This was not good for the year 2000. Doesn't matter what your budget is. This was not good. It was a direct to video feature, but somehow, in my opinion, gained that weird cult following from people like us
yeah,
while airing as kids. But it's fascinating to me because, like, again, it's not, at least for me and you, it's not something that pulled the wool over our eyes when we were kids.
right.
I could tell. I'm like, no, this is not good. But again, something drew me in about the premise and about how they stretched it and how it worked. And it just seemed like a cute little thing. Now, I mentioned, though, earlier, I was surprised at the 50-minute runtime because I would have thought that with commercials, I thought it only aired for an hour. So that meant that it would have actually been like 35 minutes or 40 minutes. So to be
Uh-huh.
50, I'm like, wait, did that air for like an hour and a half or even, God forbid, 2 hours with that many commercials? I don't remember. I just remember back in the day seeing it on WB. Apparently, it's also aired on Cartoon Network. I vaguely remember that. You probably would have seen it there too.
Yeah, that sounds like more likely a place for me to have picked that up.
Yeah, Boomerang, which I not for me. And oddly, it must have aired recently because it says here on Wikipedia that it also aired on Freeform.
Oh my god.
So I don't know if they're still doing it. I don't know if it's gonna happen in a few days. I'm gonna be all I know is I'm gonna be searching for it now on my DVR, seeing if
Yes.
on demand if I could find Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer because it was very hard trying to find a copy of this because it's on no streaming service. I assume the musical rights might make it a bit of a hard thing to do for streaming, perhaps,
Uh-huh.
because there's so much music tied into it. But I agree with you. I know I was kidding about your pitch, the way you worded the pitch, but you are correct
Uh-huh.
in mentioning like it's the year 2000. So they pitched this to him probably in 99 about, yeah, let's take your song from, just to be very clear, I want to make sure I don't mess this up, 1979. Okay, not 6. 1979. So 20 years earlier, maybe it was for like the 20-year reunion, 20-year anniversary. But 20 years later, they're like, "Hey, what if we do this for kids?" Cuz I don't know if there was like if all the kids were like, no, this is clearly our favorite song, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. Like, that seems like something your parents would have been into to try to get you to watch this movie. Am I wrong there?
It does feel like an older type song that like maybe you would play that for kids and they would get a good chuckle out of it, like haha, like grandma is hurt, violence, ha.
Well, no, specific. Look, hold on now. It's not Grandma Got Murdered in Her Dreams by Freddy. It's
Right.
cute. It's a reindeer.
She
And
was
Grandma,
drinking too much eggnog and she didn't have her meds.
you know what I find really funny? The first time it happened in the special, when she
Uh-huh.
got hit, it felt very much like, oh no, there's a sense of urgency there. I love that the second time they were like, classic, fucking hilarious, vehicular manslaughter, wonderful. No, like the second
You're
time,
right. You're right.
they completely were like, no, because it's like as if they were like, wait, hold on, Santa has socialism. He can just hit grandma and we're all good. Well, cause
Right.
well, cause Santa literally says, "Hey, we have free healthcare," and I'm just like, interesting.
Yeah, you love that. Like,
I
oh
was
yeah,
like,
no, in the North Pole, like totally fine. You have free healthcare. We'll take care of you. Certainly, you have to get hit by Santa in order to get the free healthcare in the North Pole.
I mean, I'll get hit by Santa, I guess. What did she put in the what did she put in the freaking fruitcake? I will gladly put some of that in some
It
fruitcake.
was reindeer nip, right?
Well, no, the poison or whatever she put in there reacted as if it were reindeer nip. It was not actually
Uh,
reindeer nip because that would be absurd. Uh,
sure.
that would
Yeah,
be a bit
that's
too much.
absurd.
You know what I love so much? Obviously, this is a kids movie that was meant for us as kids. But like, I loved how like the trial portion of it
Yeah.
was like, again, it's for kids, but like hilariously not even trying.
Yes.
Like the judge is just like, sure, why not? You got an Easter bunny too? I don't give a fuck.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
Christmas. Let's get us the
What did
fuck
I
out
say?
of here.
What we were watching it and they like took a piece of evidence away from the kid and were like, bring this in to get to dust it for fingerprints. I'm like, and I turned to my mom because I watched it with my mother and I was like, yeah, in the courtroom they're gonna dust for fingerprints and they're gonna be able to get that done today. Are you kidding me?
It's like I don't want to nitpick because it's literally grandma got run over by a reindeer, but it
And it's
is
for
just
kids.
no, but it is so funny just again the way the trial went down. It was just like, how about we have the jury eat things? And I'm like, hilarious.
Yeah.
Yo, hey
Yeah.
jury, how about you have some food? And the jury's like, all right, and the judge is like, I see nothing unethical about this.
Well, yeah, you say that, but like the jury, the kid's like, here, jury, eat this cake, and the jury goes, do we have to do that? And then the judge turns to the kid and is like, do we have to do that? The kid's like, hell yeah, eat that cake.
Could you imagine if that was our justice system? Like, people already say enough, but could you imagine if like kids could just walk in and be like, "Yo, eat this fruitcake," and don't you worry, Santa will get off. And they're just like, "Sir, this is a double homicide.
Yeah,
Kid, you got to get out of here. This is a double homicide. You really shouldn't be in the
this is
courtroom."
This is inappropriate for you.
Also, thanks for the fruitcake, but really, you should leave.
Yeah, but really, you need to go.
Oh my god, could you imagine they just eat the fruitcake? They're like, "You know what? No, we know who the murderer is now."
Oh, speaking of the fruitcake, because there was an earlier song in the movie about fruitcake.
Right, of course.
And it that was like the point of realization of me going, oh, this is a lot more musical than I remember it being. There's more music in this than I remember. And then I went, you think they wrote this all for the movie, or did some of this exist beforehand?
I do not believe, and I will look it up as we're talking about it, but I cannot believe that they wrote almost any of this for the movie. Only because, although I could totally be wrong, but the reason why is because this seems like something that they were like, no, 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 we already have it. It's already been recorded.
So that was my feeling on it too, but some of it felt too specific.
That's fair. Um,
Like the fruitcake song, like Grandma's gonna sue the pants off of Santa.
no, yeah, that one seems like that was created just for this, funnily enough. But I will look into that. So what I want to ask you is, so what's anything really stick out to you as like good or even just really really bad? Like even as a kid, you were like,
So you know what I like? I ended up leaving this with because we touched briefly on that, like the animation is not great, and I will give you that. However, like the how wildly colorful this movie is, like literally colorful, like the use of color is crazy.
I
Caught me off guard in such a great way. And like, what is the evil cousin's name? The one we're not supposed to like immediately.
oh of course not. I mean, oh my god,
Cousin Mel.
yes, cousin Mel.
Cousin Mel with her garage door, blue eyeshadow, hot pink lips, neon green shirt, bright neon orange hair. That was everything.
If anyone wants to understand Deirdre's sense of style, Google
That's it.
cousin Mel again. Um, no, so yeah, I want to mention when I say the animation was bad, I'm referring to like just the in between, the movements,
Yes.
even just the character design, right? However, like when I say design, I'm not referring to the use of color. I'm referring to actual like just the character. I guess if you want to call them models, if you will.
No,
It
I
just
do enjoy the character design here, though. Like, of a few characters, of Cousin Mel, and I think Grandma's character design's
no, no,
pretty
no. I
good.
don't mean their designs. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're specific designs. I mean like in general, it all reeks of
Uh huh.
you had a budget and you put this out on like if I told you, which it wasn't, but if I told you, oh, this was made by Deke
Right.
back in the day, you'd be like, oh, of course. The terror of doing this through Facebook Messenger. If it picked up a Facebook notification in the background. So, point is, I want to talk about the director and also the two writers. So,
Uh huh.
the director is Phil Roman, and he actually ended up directing some Peanuts and Garfield animated specials. And
Huh.
funnily enough, he is the founder of animation studios Film Roman and Phil Roman Entertainment. Guess what animation studio animated this film?
Oh boy.
Yes. So you can see that it's a very small, very, very small. I'm surprised. I don't know how much money they made back from this, to be fair, but I'm assuming through the television rights, a fair amount, I would imagine.
Do we know
Um,
what the budget was? Just out of curiosity.
No, no, we don't have it on hand. But I would imagine if you pick up from your shoe some shoestring and maybe well, that's the thing. Like when you look at first of all, they dubbed this over in Canada. This is a Canadian slash American production. Animating in Canada at the time, I would argue I think it was cheaper at the time. And funnily enough, there's actually some voiceover actors that you might have heard in other anime. So funnily enough, Frank Spankenheimer. By the way, some of these names and even just some
Oh
of the
my god. Yeah.
jokes, some of the jokes definitely were like, yeah, you want the adults and maybe even really young kids laughing at certain parts, and I'll get to that in a bit. But point is that Frank Spankenheimer, who is Jake and Daphne's father, he was voiced by Scott McNeil. Scott McNeil is actually the first voice of Piccolo in Dragon Ball Z before they switched over to Chris Sabat when they did the Funimation. Basically, Deirdre, if you don't know, and for anyone who wants a tell you a little smidgen of a history lesson,
Uh huh.
Funimation and Saban being the company that created Power Rangers, they were working together for a bit, but then they outsourced the dub to Canada to a company at the time, the dub company called the Ocean Group. And so that became the quote unquote ocean dub, which was for the first, I believe, 70 episodes, had their own specific cast. Then
Yeah.
Funimation ended up buying out, I believe, Saban's portion of the rights to own the show. And then what they ended up doing is, instead of doing it in Canada, they did it in house, all the dubbing. So then they started doing it in Texas. So they basically did a little kind of shift. They tried to mimic some of the voices in episode 70 to 75, kind of shifted from the Canadian voice actors to the Texas voice actors, who we now know today as the people who voice over characters in Dragon Ball Z.
Uh-huh.
So Scott McNeil was like the original voice of Piccolo, and also he's been in Beast Wars, X-Men Evolution, Inuyasha, and Fullmetal Alchemist.
Oh my gosh.
What did you know him from?
Um, Inuyasha sounds like it could be familiar.
Oh yeah, he was Koga.
Oh!
Yeah, so he was his dad.
Stop! That's amazing.
Yes, and also he was in Hamtaro as well. I don't know who these characters are. He was Ichiro Yamada and Chairman Inatori.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with like the names from
Hamtaro.
Hamtaro, but that makes sense.
And he also reprised Koga for Inuyasha: The Final Act.
Wow.
So that's actually pretty cool. And he's been in a bunch of Gundam stuff. So yeah, odds are, if you saw anime in the 2000s, and even some to this day, he's also in some episodes of in some One Piece stuff. You probably have heard him in something Mega Man related as well. A bunch of stuff. So you've heard his voice most likely. And
Right.
so it's just so funny that I assume, again, very low budget affair. And again, to be fair, I really don't know if it was a low budget affair. I think that honestly, if it was a higher, quote unquote, higher budget, most of it went to the song because of the song's popularity.
Uh-huh.
Because that song, initially had to be licensed through Elmo, Shropshire. But yeah, so it's very interesting because music rights can be very expensive. And so I wonder if, just looking at the animation and everything, if they just kind of put most of their money there.
I guess I can see it.
Oh, it would also explain, by the way, why one of the officers was aggressively Canadian.
Right. Oh, the cops. Yeah.
I thought she was doing a voice. Turns out, no, they were in Canada.
Right.
Also, I love the names. I mentioned them before. Austin Bucks. And I didn't hit me at first because I know characters from other TV shows named Bucks, so it didn't occur to me right, he is the tycoon. He has a lot of money. His last name.
There's a lot of comedy in this that was maybe extremely on the nose. I'll say that.
I am slime.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't hate that joke. I hate the fact that they paused.
Yeah.
They waited for you to laugh. And I'm like, oh my god. I don't care about the joke. It was made for the wee little ones that we once were. But they waited.
Yeah.
They gave an applause break.
You are going to laugh at this. We are giving you the most pregnant pause because we know you're going to laugh at this.
And it's
comedy genius.
That's the thing. The way the kid delivered it and the joke itself. And it's not it's not the actor's fault, but just the way they did the whole thing, it was yeah, you're gonna laugh.
Of course you're gonna laugh at this.
Did your mom laugh at it?
To be honest with you, she was not paying attention for the whole thing.
Yeah, your mom is, out of the three of us, your mom might have been the smartest one.
Yeah. You're right. Right.
Did you watch Card Captors back in the day or no? Card Captor
No.
Sakura? Okay. Damn, that would have been great because I have someone who voiced over someone from... Inuyasha, there's a character named Karan. Karan.
Okay.
Never mind. No, that was just so funny. Do you know the character named Karan? Perhaps. Okay, doesn't matter. No, because there's a voice actor by the name of Maggie Blue O'Hara, who she also did early on, did Bulma's voice, was in Card Captors, and she was additional voices in Barbie and the Rockers, Out of This World.
That's incredible.
Have you seen that or no?
No, not at all.
Okay, well then why did you give me the enthusiasm of someone who's seen it?
Because that's so cool.
Oh, actually, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. She was Strawberry Sunrise.
Strawberry sun. See, that's not my area of expertise.
Really?
We need John for that.
That's true. I thought you and John watched it together.
No.
Point is that she voiced Daphne Spankenheimer, which again, classic. Just the Spankenheimers. Just
Daphne was the mother?
yes, Daphne was the mother.
Okay.
But
So,
yeah,
I you reminded me of the parents and how
I love
when
I love the parents. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I love the parents so much because either they believe fully or they're like, we must commit our son.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And like the moment that the two moments of that stuck out to me were when grandma actually gets hit by the reindeer and the parents are like, stop trying to go outside, don't be a dum dum, just stop. Obviously this didn't happen, and like you were just 5 minutes ago so worried about her leaving the house, you wouldn't go check, not even to see, okay, maybe she didn't get run over by a reindeer because we're not believing currently. Um, but just to see maybe she fell.
Yeah,
She's an
go.
old lady
Yeah,
who's drinking too much eggnog and doesn't have her medication.
exactly. Go upstairs. We're
Go
gonna go
check.
outside and check. That's all. Just go upstairs. We're gonna go outside and check. None of that. Just stop trying to go outside. Oh my god, Grandma's fine.
You're such a doofus for believing about Santa.
I love how like the little sister also goes from honestly, I'm okay if you're dead to cool brother.
Yeah.
Like early on, it was hilarious. She's like, "Why are you this stupid?"
Yeah.
And then I mean, granted, brother sister, but still, by the end of it, she's just like, "Wow, you really saved Christmas. You're not a little idiot. You're a smart idiot."
I feel like this movie was made for like the family reject to like have some sort of
Wow, really
some
put
comeuppance on like, yeah, I was right about all of it.
really putting out
Every
the
detail.
really putting out the Rorschach test. There are we, Deirdre?
Shut up.
Jesus Christ. Just, we really related to this movie. Deirdre, it's for the family reject.
Well, I'm not speaking for anybody else on this podcast. I will only speak for myself in that this movie was made for the family reject.
Cam Clark. Cam Clark, if the voice of Austin Bucks seemed familiar to you, Deirdre.
Yeah.
Cam Clark actually voiced over Leonardo and Rocksteady in the 1987 version of Ninja Turtles.
Oh, dang.
Yes, and he was also in the original dub for Akira. He played Kaneda. He's also, holy fuck, he's Liquid Snake in the Metal Gear series.
Whoa, that's cool.
And he also, I don't know where he would do this, he serves as a voice double for Matthew Broderick. Like, when? It doesn't say like in what particular movies or TV shows, so I'm like,
right,
like on
there's
phone
no
calls.
credit of specifically when he does this. It's just a thing he does, I guess.
No, I assume it's in his huge. He has extremely large, filmography, just a lot of credits. But it just really throws me off because it's like, and also he has done this, and I'm like, on the side of the road, like where?
Yeah, like
For birthdays, when?
at Walmart, like when?
So, in the anime world, he's been in Bleach, he's been in Duel Masters, Honey and Clover, Hunter x Hunter. Oh, fuck, he was Darby in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. At least in, well, no, he was Daniel J. Darby, so I believe he was he was a descendant of some type. Anyway, so JoJo gets weird, Deirdre. Oh, he was in, you might know him, Deirdre, from the Viz dub of Sailor Moon. He was reporter and tennis player.
Stop it.
No, really, reporter episode 17 and tennis player
No,
episode 14.
I know you're being serious, but what would... Do you really think that I was going to be like, yeah, oh my god, reporter!
No.
He was like the Bugs guy.
No. I did not think that.
Well, you're being a silly goose, I think.
Go from completely overreacting to, well, you're a silly goose.
You're just being a silly goose.
I have to pause for a second. I got really thrown off. Apparently he was Aladdin, and I was like, what? But he was Aladdin in like an off-brand version, like an adaptation of the classic Arabian Night story, Aladdin and the Magic Lamp.
Oh,
But he's not like in Disney's Aladdin or anything like it. Actually,
right.
Disney sued them. That's hilarious. You a big fan of Barnyard, Deirdre? You a
Barnyard.
barnyarder?
Oh, is that animated thing with the cow
Yeah.
who is? Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, he was Freddy in Barnyard, the original party animals.
Okay,
I don't know what the fuck
that
that
means
is.
nothing to me. You
Same.
know what? You know what I want to talk about?
What?
The song that the grandpa sings, where he's talking about grandma's probably in heaven with Elvis or something.
Of course, classic. Who has not
Like,
thought that?
did they think she died?
She was missing for like a year.
Okay, it caught me off guard. I guess because you're looking at it from the kid's point of view, and the kid's point of view is like, obviously she's just missing, and everything's gonna be fine. I guess an adult in that situation would go, "There's a good possibility she's dead."
Yeah. Now,
And
don't get me
then that
wrong.
makes the grandpa go more crazy than he already was.
Well, yeah, the grandpa is very he's very enthusiastic.
Uh-huh.
He's just a guy, you know? He's just a normal guy who sings normal songs.
It was not a normal song, Matt.
Look, listen, you have your opinion, I have mine.
Okay.
This is fascinating. I'm just very, very interested in. Now we're getting back to the music, so I'm looking into the music and I'm like, what happened here? Well, no, because it says all tracks are written by Nathan Wang, Elmo Shropshire, Rita Abrams, and then except Jingle Bells, of course. So
Right.
I'm seeing this and I'm just like, so these are older songwriters like Shropshire, and they are. So these seem as if they were written before the film was actually created. And they wrote everything around the music.
That is way more absurd than the other way around.
Isn't it? Like, it really is.
Like, they already had the weird grandma's in heaven with Elvis because she got murdered by reindeer song.
I gotta look into this more. I wish
Yeah,
because I did not think I had some fun facts, but I did not think that you would end up asking me about when they created the music.
that was my biggest question after all of this was like, when, like, how, like, I like to know how the thing is pieced together, especially when it comes to like um deliciously bad films, we'll call it, like things that are so bad that I love them,
Well,
which I have an affinity for.
I can assure you, Deirdre, the soundtrack for Cats came out before the film did.
Shut up.
Deirdre, would you like to talk to group? This is now group therapy. Would you like to talk to group? How many times you've seen Cats?
I just watched it recently twice on, like, on a date with a new person, and then a person that like I've been talking to for years. We met for the first time, and in 3 days I was like, "Let's watch Cats."
Oh, so it got serious. Would I?
Yeah.
Would not, I don't mean recently. We're talking about in total.
Oh, who can count just how many times you've experienced joy?
I don't know if that's how people would phrase it, but Deirdre, just for the class, ballpark. Give me a ballpark.
It's got to be at least 10.
Only 10? Well, thank God.
So I'm specifically talking about the 2019 movie. I've definitely seen at least 10 times. There's also the 1998 DVD adaptation.
No, yeah.
Which
No one's
we'll
talking about
throw
the
on
good
another
cats.
10.
We're not talking about the good cats. We're talking about 2019. What is going on with Julie Andrews' hand?
It's not Julie Andrews. That's Dame Judi Dench, and you will put some respect on her name.
Oh, I think you put some respect on her hand. Okay, so I have the names of the songs up. We're back on track somehow, everyone. We got it all out. Um, yeah,
Somehow.
yeah. I'm looking up these songs, so I have them all listed on IMDb, and I'm just gonna look them up and see if they appeared. Yeah, so Grandpa's Gonna Sue the Pants Off of Santa allegedly is a song from 1992.
Stop. No way.
Yes, but it was created by the same guy. Like they just took his different soundtracks. Now the film version was performed by Mel's voice actress, right? And also and of course, and also Slime's voice actress, of course.
Correct.
But no, the original was by the same guy, Elmo, quote unquote, Dr. Elmo Shropshire,
but written
in '92.
So
For
8 years before the film?
Yes, his album Dr. Elmo's Twisted Christmas.
Oh, so maybe do you think he had a story in mind already?
Yes, at least within his albums, yes. Because, from what I'm gathering, it seems as if he created the song in 79 to a lot of acclaim. And then throughout the years added on different story beats through these albums. And then maybe someone clearly Phil Roman and his company seemingly, I would imagine, approached him and other investors and were like, hey, like, would you like to have this be an animated film for the kids? And then they had things like I Am Slime and, what, Slappenbacker? What's the...
Spankenheimer?
Spankenheimer, thank you. I should put some...
Is it actually Spankenheimer?
It is. No, it is. Oh, that's even funnier. No, it is actually Spankenheimer. I love that you were like, I'm just going to say the dumbest thing possible.
Yep. I was like, what's the stupidest thing I can come up with off the top of my head here?
No.
And it was the real thing. Cool for me.
Yes, classic. So, no, these songs seemingly, at least that one, and I will look up the other ones now, but I have a feeling we're going to have I went for the silliest one, I think. Grandma's... Yes. Oh, actually, no, I'll go with Grandma's Spending Christmas with the Superstars.
So weird.
This one was written, let's see here, also on 1992 in Dr. Elmo's Twisted Christmas. So no, that one he wrote that, and then of course he performed it in the movie.
Yeah. This is...
You have no words.
Yeah, no, it's this is getting me in a place.
What does that even mean?
No, you just this weird, I need to know more. I need to know absolutely everything now. If this movie becomes a special interest because you said, Deirdre, please watch this, we're gonna fight.
Okay. I thought you were saying, I accept that, let's duel at dawn. I thought what you were gonna say to me was, so some of you know, longtime listeners and who've watched other stuff that we do, like Those Guys Play and even John's channel, John's Game Room. Every now and again, John will spout out a fact, and Deirdre will not believe him, and even he won't believe it completely. And then I'm the person that looks it up and then finds out that it was real, and that shatters Deirdre's worldview. And so it's absurd stuff. But the point is that I thought, Deirdre, you're going to say that this was one of those moments where you're just like, I don't know if I believe you or not. But you can look it up yourself, and you will find that, yes, because, and it's funny, I wonder if there's anyone older than us that are like, oh, well, of course these were his songs. But as two kids at the time, 8 and 9, this was all just weird. Outside of course, Grandma's Got Run Over by a Reindeer. That one I had heard before. Did you hear that before this movie or no?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. So that one, I could swear I heard it before. But the rest of this, now I would think that it was made before because of the budget. But I understand completely why you're like, no. It's too on the nose. It has to have been created for this film.
Yeah, I can see like a couple of things maybe being made before. Not Grandpa's gonna sue the pants off of Santa. There was in my mind 5 minutes ago, no way that song was written prior to the film.
Also, Grandma's Killer Fruitcake was also on the album.
I pulled up the album list
Of
so
course,
that I could, and not all of these songs are in the movie though.
Oh, no, I never said that.
No, I know you didn't say that, but like, what I'm saying is they picked and chose, and then built a story around the songs that they could make a story about. It's just this is hitting different, man.
So, does this make you think anything different about the film at all?
Yeah.
No. I mean, like, do you like it or don't like it, or like, what is?
No, I enjoy this so much more now. Like, this is, we are starting to build a repertoire of terrible Christmas films to watch every year. Christmas Dragon was the start of that.
Yeah, not me. I've never seen that one.
I'm sorry, the we of like me and John and DR,
right,
and a couple of other friends that I have roped into this. But we are starting to build a small catalog of holiday films that are just absolute garbage that we're going to watch every year.
And you wanted to get me to watch The Christmas Dragon, and I agreed, but we never did it. And I'm thankful for that.
We will.
We will, and I guess we'll do that. Maybe that'll be next year. Next podcast. But
heck yeah, come on.
I know. But this one, there was just a faint memory in my mind of like I said at the beginning of the episode, that you enjoyed or at the very least saw this and would be down for a podcast. But I forgot where and when, because I don't think we talked about this I don't think it wasn't when we first met in high school.
Right.
About at this point, I want to say maybe 14 years ago. It wasn't like, oh, we were both wearing our sweaters that said Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Hey, it wasn't that. So I don't know how and when this came up for as long as we've known each other. But it's just hilarious that it's culminated into this, a podcast
I have
about.
no memory of us ever talking about this film. I thought you brought this to me just randomly, like assuming that I had seen it.
No, I mean, it is something that I would do because it's you.
Yeah.
But I could swear we brought this up at least once. Now, let's actually, since we've talked about everything else about behind the scenes of the film, let's actually talk about that whole plot thing. So, as the title is clearly implying, Grandma does get run over by a reindeer. And to be fair, they do it twice, so they give you your money's worth.
I mean, they show it 3 times, and then it actually happens twice.
Right, it's true. And so they do something very strange in that, like, they have her go missing for a year. And it's like, in a movie like this, that's oddly dark. And,
I had forgotten about that.
Yes, so you had forgotten about it. I had to, a little bit. And thankfully she's fine, though. She's getting the best health care that the North Pole can give.
That you only receive if Santa personally hurt you.
I love it. And, seemingly Santa had an ironclad case later, because what ends up happening is they end up... So, by the way, also some light kidnapping in this beautiful children's film. It's just the whole thing is very strange, fascinating. Like, it goes from, oh, let's string these songs together and let's make this for the kids and let's give them funny little names. Slappenheimer, And then there's there's a potential murder. Grandma goes missing. By the way, she runs like the cutest little tiny mom and pop shop in like the huge big metropolis of wherever the fuck. And of course we have it's so strange though, because you have who I assume was going to be the evil tycoon, right? Mr. Bucks. But he seems rather benevolent compared to Cousin Mel. Like, it seems very odd.
He was kind of back and forth, honestly. Like, he would, like... I think he just, went with the flow. Very chaotic neutral of just like, well, let's just see how this goes.
I'm evil, but I'm evil by the book. Like many billionaires. I'm like, I don't know about that last one. No, because it was very strange to see him be evil, but by the book. Like, look, I'll do this underhanded shit as long as it's legally underhanded.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. because like they have to get the grandpa to sign on, and of course, because the grandpa owns the deed with the grandma, so if grandma's missing, they still, because basically the whole plot of the film, if you didn't know, and if you don't care but you love our breakdown, cousin Mel, the evil cousin Mel who likes money, wants to try and sell the store under grandpa and grandma's nose, to do so to get a hell of a lot of money, maybe even marry this businessman because he has money. And the businessman owns almost every, what I find very interesting, owns almost every piece of land, every building in that city, other than grandma's shop. So he's like, oh, I would like to buy it, but you don't, so that's fine. And then cousin Mel's like, but what if we don't do it legally? And he's like, well, I will do it legally, but however you get the old man to sign, that's on you.
Right.
But I'm not telling you to lie to him. Like, it was very, very, like you said, back and forth. Very strange. And then
like 1 minute he's like, well, just get the old man to sign the form. It doesn't, whatever you do, wink, wink, just nudge, nudge. Just, like, it just has to be okay on the surface. To, like, oh, this child doesn't want us to sell the store. We'll give you a week to find your grandma. Like he didn't have to do that. What was the point of that?
Exactly. Well, just compared to who he is and who he's been shown to be, very odd. Yeah. And then also the fact that, like, they're like, we have proof, Santa. And I do love how batshit they go from there. I don't think we would have ever expected, as kids or adults, that once they bring Santa into the equation, it's like, oh my god, perfect. Let's fucking sue Santa. What?
Let's bring legal litigation against Santa Claus.
It went from grandma got run over by a reindeer, haha, to litigation, to Law and Order.
It went from Santa's not real, and this one kid who believes that Santa's real is a nut.
Fucking idiot.
Santa is real, and we're gonna bring him to court.
And then in court, they were like, wait a minute, how does court work again? How do we court? And the judge is like, I don't know, let's just ask this kid.
Yeah. He seems to know what he's doing.
And then they proved that it was not, Santa Claus did not purposefully or accidentally try to hit grandma. The reindeer were actually smelling reindeer nip, or what presumably could be reindeer nip, because cousin Mel tried to put some weird shit, which we do not know if it is or is not rat poison, into the fruitcake that grandma made, because the customers won't like the fruitcake, and then they won't go to the store, and the store won't do well, and then she'll have to sell it. And it's like, wow, that's a lot of shit.
So weird.
That's a lot of plan right there that could have just not worked. And then, thank God for her, grandma got hit by a reindeer. And then literally they're like, oh, yay, so you proved that, that Santa was not to blame. But we got to put down these reindeer. Like,
and the reindeer was in the courtroom and was like, sorry, I couldn't help it. I smelled that stuff and I just had to go for it. And it's like, so is it not the reindeer's fault?
No. I laughed so hard. And the reason why I laughed hard at that is because the way I see it in that exact moment, I'm thinking of like the reindeer having to like be on the stand as a witness, because they're like, well, he can talk.
Right.
So we have to get the reindeer to actually like the reindeer has to put his fucking hoof on a Bible. So could you put your hand on a Bible? And he's just like, I'm magic, but sure. Also, by the way, Dr. Elmo has an album called Redneck Dracula, and I would love to see that movie.
Oh my god.
It's called Redneck Dracula, and then in parentheses, with the Halloween ghouls.
You're killing me.
This is real. Came out in 2006.
This is going to be my life for the next 2 weeks
Dr. Elmo?
Yes. It's not even about Grandma got run over by a reindeer anymore. It's Dr. Elmo.
I'm sorry, I think.
Yeah, I think you should be.
I'm sorry that I ruined your Christmas, Deirdre.
Oh my god. No, honest, you've made it better. It's fine.
He made a music video from Redneck Dracula.
Oh, stop it.
It's true.
Oh my god. My chest hurts.
He made a music video, and I guess this is a song. It's called Prison Without Martha Stewart. I want to see that animated special now.
Oh my god.
I
Oh,
I
to
don't
jump
know.
back to Dr. Elmo and the album Dr. Elmo's Twisted Christmas.
Okay.
Did you see what the final track of that album is?
No.
Um, it's called. Hold on. Don't Make Me Play That Grandma Song Again.
That's fucking great.
Like I said, there are some songs from this album that are not in the film, so they picked what they were
Mm-hmm.
going to build their plot around.
Well, yeah.
But, like, they didn't have Send Me a Wife for Christmas.
I have a feeling. I think I know why.
What is this one? Christmas Won't Be the Same Without Johnny.
Who the fuck is Johnny?
Exactly.
I think they wouldn't have. I'm just shocked that. I think I'm shocked that this has been picked up for so many years, and I'm wondering who is still watching it. Is it people
That
like you and I?
I had that thought too.
Mm-hmm.
And also just like because this isn't like a Disney classic or whatever. Like it's not like I don't think you can call this a Christmas staple. I don't find that everybody knows about this.
But
So
it's
I want
on
to know
TV.
who still knows about this and who's still watching it.
That's because the thing. I can understand who it was initially created for. Because again, it was created for literally your and my parents to try to get us to watch. I'm not saying your parents watched, mine didn't, but it clearly was trying to get that crowd to
Yeah.
watch it with the kids.
Yeah.
But now I'm wondering, like, your mom wasn't paying attention.
No, not at all.
Was
A
your
little
cat
here and there, I would get a question.
about what?
I think one of the things was like, wait, is the grandma dead? When they were talking about grandmas in heaven with the superstars.
Right.
And like, I don't think so. I don't remember her dying. I remember her being alive again at some point.
Yes.
But
Was your cat watching?
no,
Hmm.
no.
Damn. And he
Yeah.
is a part of a Nielsen family. So that does matter. He has to touch his little clicker with his little paws.
Exactly. You're right.
It's true. It's true. So yeah, I do wonder now. I mean, for all I know, I'll Google as we wrap this up. I will Google where this still is airing, if it has, and when was the last time it aired. So before we wrap this up, anything you want to say about this film? You know, you're considering making it a Christmas staple, but again, not because it's good, but
No.
but like I said, I still do like it.
It's a fun watch.
Yeah.
It's just a very weird, a very weird set of plot points. And now that I have some background on it, the biggest revelation being that the songs existed before the film. That is like mind blowing to me, and I need to watch it again with that in mind, and I need to look up more of Dr. Elmo's work. That's where I'm at right now. And like I said, if this becomes a special interest and becomes like Cat's level for me, we're gonna fight.
I'm sorry? Alright, so it seems as if for some reason or another, it's airing. I don't know if this website is correct, but it also is tvguide.com, so I feel like it is. It is airing. Well, sadly, by this time, it would have been already aired by the time this comes out. Friday, December 24th at 6 a.m. on AMC.
AMC.
Yeah, so it said that it aired on AMC on Wikipedia, and I assume that was fairly recently. I don't know why. Oh, wait, hold on. On Facebook, of all places. Oh, of course. There's a Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer Facebook page, of course.
Is it like a fan group or like a?
I wish I could tell you. All I know is that on December 22nd, so a few days ago, it actually aired on CW at 8 p.m.
Oh my god.
Yes. And that is from this year. Let me make sure I'm right. Yeah, no, it doesn't say from another year. That happened this year.
Who's watching this?
I would love for any of you down in the comments below, either on our YouTube channel or on Podbean, tell me if you're watching this. I'm very curious because I said it earlier, I've seen other YouTubers do reviews of this. I don't know if I've seen anyone do like a deeper, we didn't do like a too deep dive, but we still shared some interesting facts. I haven't seen anyone necessarily do that, but I have seen some people review this. But outside of that kind of circle, I don't ever hear anyone ever talk about this special.
Mm-hmm.
So I am curious if now people are showing it to their children and what their children are thinking about this.
Oh. I wonder if I can get this to my niece and nephew somehow. I would love to hear a child's perspective on this film.
I feel like they would swear.
She already does.
That's what I mean. Like Auntie Deej, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
is this? Why do they look so weird? Like, we can't even tell them, like, well, that's how animation was at the time. Because it wasn't.
It really wasn't. But, you know, catch my cousin Mel makeup tutorial coming out, you know.
Oh, God. No, that is not happening. Although, if it is, we'll...
Unless it is.
If it is, I'll link it below and I'll start your own channel for it. Cousin Mel makeup tutorial. You will get 5 views, and that will be that will all be me, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate your support.
Of course.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
I just can't believe this is a thing. I'm happy that it is. No one got hurt in the making of this, as far as I know. Like, it's just.
Did you see all those messages at the end? Speaking of that,
What?
there were like little snippets at the end of like, no reindeer were hurt in the making of this film. The views on fruitcake are not necessarily the views of the people who made the film.
Of course, I totally saw that. I was looking for the Multiverse of Madness teaser trailer at the end, the Marvel teaser, the after credits scene. I was hoping that maybe, you know, Doctor Strange was going to come in and do something with and do some magic spells and the reindeer. I know I did not see any of that. I immediately went to my phone and did not pay attention to any of it. So that's actually, was it cute?
It was very funny. It was adorable.
Yes.
But like, it felt like it pushed it more into this realm of like, this was not made by professionals. This was made for like a college final or something.
But it definitely was not.
It wasn't. No, it was legitimately made by an animation company and real people and stuff.
I love how that implies that college kids are not real people.
Yeah, they not. I work at a college. They not.
You were a college. They're not.
Yeah, I was a college student. I wasn't. Oh boy.
Okay, this is absolutely fucking hilarious. Seriously, one last time before we go. When you talked about being made by an animation company, Phil Roman Entertainment, I mentioned before, taking after its founder, Phil Roman. It was founded in 1999. And so literally the first thing that they did create, seemingly, was Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. And it
Are you kidding me?
I am not. So literally this might have been very much a pet project, like something that he really enjoyed, seemingly, to found it and then to create this.
To immediately make this film.
Especially because when you look at the fact that this was in, 99, the movie came out in 2000, they eventually co-produced a Mexican-American animated family film called El Americano, the movie. And it's a cute little thing. It looks like it's about like dinosaurs or something. This came out in 2016. There's a bit of a gap there.
Yeah.
This was distributed, however, by SFM Entertainment. And it's SFM because of the company's founders, Walter Stab, two A's, don't worry. Walter Stab, Robert Frank, and Stanley Moger. So SFM from their last names. And they would, they distributed some shows that, they distributed the Mickey Mouse Club. 77 to 78 version. Interesting. But for the most part, I don't know any of these damn shows or movies, whatever they might be. So this is, so again, like I said to you before, Deirdre, seemingly fairly low budget all around.
Right. And seemingly the first movie they made.
Yes. And the last.
Oh, man.
The writers, though, not new to the game. Jim Fisher and Jim Stahl, not new to this.
Okay.
Jim Fisher, funnily, every time I look up the name, immediately she comes up. Jim Fisher Drywall? No, I am not looking for a drywall contractor in New Jersey.
Not right now.
Not right now, apparently. Jim Fisher, if it is seemingly the same Jim Fisher, was also a writer and producer known for tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
Stop! What?
Also, Bobby's World and Lightning Force? I don't know what that is, but I've heard about Bobby's World, and I've seen episodes of Tattooed Teenage Alien Fight. Have you seen that show?
Hell yeah!
Okay, now we have something else to bond over, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
And then Jim Stahl, that name I know because he's a screenwriter who, what has he done? I was looking at this up earlier. Apparently he was on Mork and Mindy and seemingly potentially on Happy Days. I don't know if this is the same person, but seemingly it is fascinating stuff. He's also appeared as an actor on like King of Queens, Curb Your Enthusiasm. So I don't know if this is the exact same person or not, because it could have been a pseudonym that he wrote under, whoever the person wrote under for the film. But but when you look him up, it does show both Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, and also it shows, I don't know if he was a writer on this, Here Come the Munsters from 1995. Wow. Have you seen that?
Yes, I have.
You've seen everything. You tell everyone you've seen nothing, and then I come up with the weirdest shit, and you're like, oh, I've seen that.
No, I've seen the weird stuff, but then you're like, have you seen this very basic movie everyone knows about? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so yeah, Jim Stahl apparently wrote this, along with also Jim Fisher.
Huh.
Yeah, so that's a Munsters film from 95. I did not know that.
Yeah, interesting.
This is all so strange. These facts are the weirdest facts I've ever said on a damn podcast. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. Hope you have had a great Christmas. In general, a happy holidays. And if you haven't, I hope you start to. So thank you all so much for watching or for listening. You could be watching too. But thank you so much for listening as always. And before we go, any passing thoughts, any final thoughts, Deirdre?
Watch this movie.
Shockingly, yeah, watch the movie.
Watch this movie.
Yeah, if you drink, watch it while drinking, watch it with people. I think it's going to be a lot more fun than you would think.
Yes.
But if you asked me if this is a classic, I would never say it was.
It's a classic for me in my heart now.
Okay, maybe in my heart, but not in my brain.
Right. Not logically, but
you know, in the heart, where memories and feelings are stored. All right, so love you all. Take care. You know, all the likes and all the subscribings and all that stuff. Love you all. Take care and see ya.
Bye-bye.